Is it the
Do
Portugal? Okay. Do you say the do what?
Yeah.
Okay. Do Portugal Circus, which you guys have been stuck in Roswell
For a little bit.
for a little bit. Aldo is here and Sammy is here, and this whole COVID thing started about the time you guys threw up the big top there in Roswell, and you were getting ready to do your first set of shows, and then all of a sudden, the whole...
It was going to be for 2 weeks.
Right, yeah. I mean, the whole world shut down for a while now, and you guys never made it out of Roswell? You got kind of stuck there?
Yeah.
What kind of an experience has that been?
It was weird. It was odd. Like, I bet you love to do this, like to be here in the radio and to speak to people, or to be in the radio.
It's kind of what I do, yeah.
And then, I don't know if you stopped working when the pandemic started, but then they take away what you love to do right away, like from day to the other. It was so odd, and we never expected to be this long.
No, I think everybody was talking about, 30 days to slow the curve, 45 days or whatever, and then we'd start to get back to normal again. And that just did not happen. So you guys, you've been pretty much based in Roswell this whole time?
Yeah, we have. Like, people only show us support. So we were like, okay, let's stay here, that is safe, that everyone is helping us, so we don't take a risk anywhere else.
Mm-hmm. And I know the Roswell community has been very helpful to you guys,
nothing but amazing.
Right?
Yeah.
So when you call friends and family back home and you tell them, hey, I'm in Roswell, New Mexico.
They were asking about the aliens.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. What are some of the questions they asked you guys?
Yeah. And it was funny. At the beginning, it was like, oh, the aliens. But then after a year, it was like, eh.
I don't want to talk about the aliens. Well, and really for those first few months, nothing was open. We had a tower crew in from Kansas that was painting our tower, and it was a similar thing for them. I mean, they could work.
Yeah.
They could go paint the tower. I guess that was considered essential at the time. But hey, you ought to go look at the UFO museum. Oh wait, it's closed. We ought to go check out the caverns. Oh wait, they're closed. Nothing was open. So even though you're here, you couldn't go anywhere to see anything.
Yeah, we couldn't see it. We couldn't experience it.
Yeah, how'd you pass the time? I mean, would you take up new hobbies?
At least for me, it was practicing 24/7.
Okay.
Practicing. Pick up some hobbies. A lot of series. Netflix.
Wow, that's great. How did you pass the time, Sammy? What have you been doing?
Pretty much the same, really. We were lucky enough to have the tent up still, so we could practice. But then obviously it got quite windy, and with the snow as well back in Roswell, so they ended up taking the tent down. So I just learnt new hobbies, really, some painting and Netflix as well, because it's really cold as well. So there's not really much you can do when it was like -16. And
now we're listening to Sammy speak, and you're not from New Mexico. You're from
England.
England. Whereabouts?
Around London, Brighton, little seaside town.
Okay.
So yeah.
Well, I think unfortunately my only knowledge of London is like Foyle's War, Sherlock,
program.
programs like that. So was this? And you've toured all over the country, I'm assuming. You've been all over the world performing.
Yeah, I have.
Have you ever been stuck in a place this long, other than say where you grew up?
No, not really. I'm originally trained as a dancer, so I'm quite used to travelling on contracts. Like I've been on cruise ships and places like that. So I'm used to travelling, but it's like between 6 to 8 months, and then I always go home for like 3 or 5, depending on how long the visa takes to come back. But this year I've been stuck here a whole year.
Right.
And by the time I go home, it'll be 2 years. So it's been very long.
Oh my gosh. And it's not like the United States was having the COVID problem. I mean, this was the whole world. Yeah. So getting back to England and then coming back here would have been just a big issue.
Yeah, I can't get back home right now anyway.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be able to come back either.
Yeah,
Sorry.
and then the cruise ships, that whole industry, so you couldn't go back to that.
No. Nothing.
So yeah. So what have you been watching on Netflix?
That's a good question.
Crime programs mainly, actually.
Yeah.
That's a good crime program.
Well, the good crime ones. Aldo, where are you from originally?
I'm from Mexico.
You're from Mexico.
Yeah.
And kind of a similar situation there.
Same situation.
Yeah.
Never in my life, in my entire life, I have been a year in one place.
Yeah.
Never.
Right.
Like I'm fifth generation in the circus, so I basically born in a town, and 2 weeks after I was in another town, and 2 weeks after I was in another town.
Right.
And then when I turned 15, we were out of Mexico to Central America to travel to all of those countries. And then when I turned 18, we came to the U.S. and we were all excited, and we were kind of started getting people, and people were starting to come to our show and get to know us.
Right.
When the whole thing happened, and
Yeah. What part of Mexico are you from?
that's the thing, it's always a question, a tricky question, because I born in Tamaulipas,
Okay.
but I was there 2 weeks,
Right.
and then we moved to
So your
Sonora.
parents were performers?
Yeah.
And so this is your life.
This
right?
is my life, yeah. Generation and generations, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I have never been in one, like when they ask me, where are you from? I basically kind of from everywhere.
Yeah, all over. So did you? So you've always been in the circus. You weren't dancing or performing on cruise ships
No.
or anything like that. You've always been a part
A
of
performer,
a
yeah.
touring person. So you never have stayed long enough anywhere to get to know anything until now. So now you know more about Roswell than you ever wanted to know. Right?
Basically.
Oh my gosh, that is that's well. I'm glad you guys are getting to perform again, and you've got
Yeah.
and I'm sure you guys are too. Sammy, what do you perform? What is your act?
I'm a contortionist hand balancer, and also I do Spanish web in the air.
Okay.
Like acrobatics in the air.
Acrobatics?
Yeah.
A contortionist.
Yes.
When did you discover you had this talent?
Well, I've always done gymnastics since a very small age, so I've always been quite flexible. But I've been training handstands and contortion for about 3 years. So, but more recently,
Right.
I discovered I can do a bit more.
You can do a little bit more. Well, that's amazing. So what will you be performing? What is your act? I mean, what will we get to see when you are we going to have the spotlight on you, or are you part of a group?
Just me. So.
Just you? Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you do? Get into something? Get out of something?
Yeah, so I do like handstands on some poles, tall poles, small poles, in some different like shapes, and some dancing in there as well.
Okay, well, that sounds intriguing, and you discovered that you could do this while you were a part of the circus, or is this something you just kind of when you were on the cruise ships?
Yeah, a bit both. It's kind of developed like over the years from gymnastics really, and then I've had different contracts where I've had to do some kind of like contortion stuff, like on the cruise ship I did. So it's kind of just developed and progressed like throughout the years really. So
what got you? I mean, obviously Aldo was born in the circus. You weren't. What got you involved in touring as part of a circus group?
I saw a video of Cirque du Soleil when I was like 11, and I kind of just fell in love with it. So with my gymnastics, I kind of knew that I just wanted to join a circus at some point. Initially not with dancing, but the opportunity came up with my dance to be a part of the circus, and it's just progressed to being an artist now.
So how long have you been with the circus prior to the COVID shutdown?
Since 2017.
Okay, so you have had a chance to actually get out on the road and perform.
Yeah.
It's not like you just joined the circus
No.
and then...
No, yeah.
Yeah, so you've been on that for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Well, where do you think this will lead? Obviously you have a career. You want to advance at some point, or do you want to be like Aldo and just spend your whole life on the circus now?
Not really thought about it too much. I mean, one day I would like to, maybe go back to England and settle down and maybe have like own circus in England would be nice. And stop performing at some point. But for now, it's just performing as much.
Well, let me ask both of you, because you're originally from Mexico and you're from England.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that you're used to saying in your home country that when you say them here in America, people look at you and go, "What are you talking about?"
Oh, I don't know.
When you say dodgy,
Dodgy.
yeah, people don't know what dodgy is
No?
in
No.
in the
Dodgy.
U.S.
Dodgy. What's that?
I have said dodgy to many people, and they look at me like,
Like a bit shady. Like.
Okay.
Is that?
Yeah.
That
No,
what shady?
I understand
Dodgy?
shady.
You're like you're being dodgy or a bit dodgy.
Dodgy. I'm like, I'm darting back.
Yeah, just in a different context. Like, well, we would say dodging if that, but dodgy is like, oh, that person's been a bit dodgy. Something like that.
So have you learned some things from Sammy that you've started to...
my whole English, I think, is based in English from England, because I have been always around people that speak English in English way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I kind of struggle to get the jokes and the slang from the U.S.
Right.
And when I speak, as I speak with them, they were as well like, what, you know? So I kind of struggle with that. And as well, when I try to say the things that we say in Mexico, in Spanish, they don't make sense at all in English. So I kind of struggle with that a little bit.
Yeah, I'm sure that's kind of fun. So how many different countries are represented on the group that performs with the circus?
It used to be like around 5 countries, but with the whole pandemic, a lot of artists had to go to other circus that were performing already, which is fine. It's okay. We weren't performing, so they had to do something. So a lot of people kind of left to other shows. So right now it's 2 nationalities,
Yeah.
which is England and Mexico.
England and Mexico. Well,
Yeah.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. Now, what do you do on the circus? I mean, you've probably had a chance to do a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything, yeah. But mainly my main thing is trapeze. But I do this kind of different kind of trapeze,
Okay.
which is okay. Let's imagine the normal trapeze, the flying trapeze. Let's take away everything and just leave the trapeze.
Okay.
Even the tent, the net. Let's take away that one. And then in the trapeze, I balance on my head, just on my head. I let go of legs. I let go of my arms, just on my head.
Up in the
Up
air.
there, yeah.
Oh my gosh, that you got me nervous now.
You have to see it live. You have to see it live.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have you on the edge of your seat.
So that's is that an American phrase? Are you on the edge of your seat in Britain?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have that. Yes, we do.
Do that. So what possessed you to do that, to try? Because I'm sure you've heard of all the other famous acts in history, and you try to perform their type of acts, but then you have to kind of come up with your own routine. So what day was it? I mean, what was going through your mind when you said, "Hey, I'm just gonna stand on my head"?
I wanted to do hands balance originally, but I was weak, really, really, really weak when I was young. So one day my father hung up the trapeze because they had that all rusty trapeze in one of the lorries from the circus.
That's a truck. I
truck.
know that one.
Yeah, lorries, yeah.
See,
You see,
you're
that's what I
rubbing
mean.
off on him there.
You see, and he just hung it up, and I just tried up, and I was like, because I never saw that performance before, and I'm sure you haven't seen that performance before. So I was like, yeah, I kinda want to try it. And then later on, I got to do hands balance on your trapeze as well. So I kind of put all of the things that I like in the performance that I'm doing right now.
And you don't have a rusty trapeze anymore.
No, it's very shiny. It has to shine.
Because that would be a bad thing. So you're going to be over the next 2 weeks. Then you're going to have performances at the fairgrounds, Eastern New Mexico State Fairgrounds in Roswell. So because I was driving into Roswell a week ago or so, and I saw the tent was back up.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. When do you have? What's your schedule coming up over the next couple of weeks?
I'm gonna let Sammy say that one because she knows better.
So we have our opening show this Friday at 7:30 p.m. and we have 2 shows on a Saturday at 5 and 8 p.m. and 2 shows on a Sunday at 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. And then the following week we have 1 show on a Thursday at 7:30 and Friday 7:30 and the same on Saturday 5 and 8 p.m. and Sunday 2 and 5 p.m.
Okay. So Friday, one show, 2 shows Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
Next week, Thursday and Friday, 1 show.
Yep.
And then 2 shows on Saturday and Sunday. Have you finally got it figured out to where after you finish your performances here that you're going to get to travel again?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah?
I think right away we're going to start traveling again.
Okay.
So I'm excited about that one.
Yeah. do you know where you're going to go, or have they set
I
the
think
schedule?
one of the first towns, since the whole yellow and turquoise and green lighting
Yeah.
is changing a lot,
Yeah.
all of the towns are in maybe this one or maybe that one.
Yeah.
You know, we have a lot of possibilities on where we are going to go next. So I don't want to say this town because we may not go to that town.
Sure.
Or the other town because we may not go to that town. We're going to move with the
But you're
things
going to
that
stay in
happen.
New Mexico is what your goal is.
I think we're going to stay in New Mexico, yes.
Okay.
But if it changes...
Because they don't
we-
have colors like that in Texas.
Exactly. If something changes, we're going to go back to Texas.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. It's even though Eddy and Chaves County are yellow,
Yeah.
you're still able to have performances.
Yeah, and we're going to have all the precautions, 6 feet apart, half of the audience. We're going to have gel, mask is obligatory. We're going to have all the precautions so people can have a fun and a safe show.
Excellent. Can you buy tickets in advance, or do you buy them at the...
You can do both. You
Okay.
can buy them right the day of the show, and you can buy them online at www.portugal USA,
Okay.
and you can get them there as well.
How much are tickets?
For kids are 15 in any of the seating. We have general seating that is $20, preferente, which is 30, palco, which is 40, and VIP, which is 50.
VIP, which is $50. So,
Yeah.
do you have any animals with the show, or is
No animals, just
No
performers.
just performers? Okay.
Just performers.
Yeah. Well, I just because you never know.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
we want to make sure people know what they have.
No, and you are just saying we are Hans Balancer and Trapeze right here, just us. But we have high wire, slack wire. We have the one that scares the people the most, which is the glove. This huge metallic sphere that the motorbikes go in.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is it puts me nervous, and I saw it every day.
This is the guy that stands on
Yeah.
his head on a trapeze without a
Yeah.
net,
I get the
nervous.
sweaty hands.
Oh my gosh! How about you, Sammy? Does that make you nervous when you watch that one, or?
Yeah, it does. So they put more and more bikes in as well. So like,
So it's not just one.
No.
no, they put more in. So just keep putting them in.
So they're spinning around because they have to go fast enough to stay on the
Yeah.
outside, but then there's others in there, and
Yeah, one is the easy part.
yeah.
Yeah.
But then you mix it up with
Yeah.
Two.
some more.
2 or 3.
Wow, that is just that's amazing. Well, let's do this. We have some tickets. Aldo brought us some tickets to give away, and we've got a couple of pairs of tickets. So if you want a pair of tickets, call Tana right now at 575-746-2751. And see if you can remember what countries our guests are from. Or just call, and we'll just take the first couple of calls that call Tana, and we'll set aside a couple of tickets. Are these good at any of the shows?
Any of the shows.
Any of the shows that are coming up. So that is fantastic. Well, are you going to miss anything about Roswell? I'm sure you're ready to go, but
Yeah.
you know.
The people were really nice, and we made some friends that really make the staying in Roswell a lot better.
Yeah.
So maybe that, but I'm aiming, and I'm thrilled to get back into the road and performing and seeing different audiences. I just can't wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're talking to the microphone there.
Yeah, the same really. Like the community in Roswell has been fantastic. Like the people are so helpful and welcoming and just supportive. So we'll miss like the people that have helped us and that. But yeah, just the same as Aldo, trying to get back into some kind of normal routine of performing again.
Sure.
Would be nice.
Well, we know for at least 2 more weeks.
Yes.
You
Just
guys
a
will
week.
be
Yeah.
in Roswell starting Friday, 7:30, 2 shows Saturday, 2 shows Sunday, and then next Thursday and Friday evening shows, 2 shows on Saturday and Sunday of next week. The Do Portugal Circus You're opening up. Yay! That's fantastic. Well, Sammy, thank you so much for coming in and being with us today. Aldo, thank you. Nice to meet you.
Thank you so much for having us.
And best of luck. I don't know what the proper thing to say to someone to have, success in a show.
I will say break your leg, no? Like the theater.
All right. Thanks a lot. And we appreciate it. We'll hope to see you this